Hello, welcome to the sewer level inspection for 9440 West 51st Ave, Arvada, Colorado 80002. Access point for this inspection is a 3-inch cast iron cleanout in the basement. And our inspection it begins looking at the tap. And the tap is your foreign sewer line leaving the home, connecting to the city main on Middle Street to the front of the home. Unfortunately, if we find conflict in the sewer line, we are recommending repairs on. So they did replace the tap. So we do have a section of this green plastic SDR35, which is really nice. Good quality material used for sewer lines. Most likely when the city replaced the city main, they added this a little bit bigger line to make sure that everything was good. Did mark this point right about 8.5 feet in depth. It's still in the street, so if you do end up in the future replacing the line or anything like that, you would have to go all the way up to this point and dig up the street. But vitrified clay pipe used for the sewer line, the exterior sewer line. Clay lines do come in smaller segments, 3 and 5 foot segments. These things are designed to move at the joints instead of cracking and breaking. The movement of the joints does allow for roots to come through. You can see an offset in the joint right there with some roots coming through. So typically just want to see this cleaned every 1 to 3 years. Usually go closer to that 12 to 18 months just to make sure so you're not chasing backups or anything like that. So as long as your roots aren't coming through fractures or anything like that, you are good. You do see one fracture in the line close to the home that we did mark with a flag that you will be able to see in the sewer overview and things like that. That second video attached. One thing to also notice is you get a little bit of standing water in the line. It is minor, not submerging the camera or anything like that. Do recommend doing what we call a self-purge about every 6 to 9 months to stay on top of it to make sure debris and stuff like that doesn't build up in the line and cause backups. So self-purge is basically I want you to fill up all the bathtubs in the home. When you drain those, I want you to make sure you run around and flush all the toilets in the home, multiple times. So it creates a tidal wave-like effect in the sewer line that pushes any debris and things like that might be stuck all the way down to that city tap. Like I said, do that a few times a year, and that'll help mitigate any issues. It doesn't take the place of cleanings, but can definitely help with any soft blockages and toilet paper buildup, things like that in the line. So we are did mention that cleanings, so I do recommend cleanings max every 1 to 3 years, closer to that 12 to 18 months though would be more recommended. But when doing your due diligence and finding a good cleaner, always recommend asking 3 different questions. I want you to make sure they're certified, insured, and that they have a sewer camera. Certified usually means they're trained on their equipment, so hopefully that means they won't break anything. But accidents happen, so I just want you to make sure they have insurance. And then if they have a sewer camera just like this one, they can put that camera down the line before the cleaning, verify the condition line, any areas of interest, and then afterward they can actually prove that the job you paid them to do is done properly to your standards. So asking those 3 questions will usually provide the best quality service for the price, as a typical cleaning does cost anywhere from $100 to $200, and that is with an auger, also known as a snake rooter. So you don't really need a cleaning now, probably good for that other year. But we are coming up on that section where we do see a fracture in the line. A little bit farther back. Apologize. So you can see it right here. So just before that joint, looks like that. So what we're looking at is a fracture in the line. So that's what we're recommending be repaired. Ideally add some clean outs. And add clean outs to easily clean the line for future maintenance, but all in all that is really all that needs to happen at this time. Transition from the clay to the cast iron right here. A little bit of an offset, but offset in favor of the flow basically means it just water falls down. So not a huge concern. Ideally, if you're digging right there to add clean outs, you can come right here and have that plastic marry up to that cast iron perfectly. So just take one thing out. But cast iron looks fine, so no major conflicts in here. A little bit of rust and scaling buildup, but it's very typical today's at home. And whenever you get the line cleaned, obviously, that'll break up some of that rust and scaling and push it all the way down to that tap. So besides that fracture in the line, close to the home, everything is fine. Just recommend referencing the maintenance portion of my report for some simple tips and tricks, do's and don'ts. This right here is our access point, kind of in the basement area. So that does end our inspection today. I want to say thank you. Have a great day.